Olaf Scholz, Germany's security-first chancellor, has been harshly criticized for dragging his feet on military aid to Ukraine. As the invasion of Russia approached, he was ridiculed for offering 5,000 helmets instead of heavy weapons. Initial German doubts and prejudices delayed the delivery of missiles and Leopard tanks. The situation has deteriorated so much that in April last year German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier was publicly told that he was not welcome in Kiev. What a difference one war makes. As the conflict nears 2 years, Scholz is conspicuously leading the West's efforts to keep Ukraine afloat. Continued U.S. military assistance is in doubt. The new $61.4 billion package proposed by President Joe Biden has been blocked by Republicans in Congress. EU funds worth €50 billion are being withheld by Hungary's Kremlin-friendly leader Viktor Orban. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has boastfully claimed to be President Volodymyr Zelensky's best friend. But his latest successor, Rishi Sunak, has so far failed to renew the £2.3 billion annual benefit for next year. David Cameron, one of Sunak's predecessors who visited Kiev last month, promised to provide all the military support you need, but Cameron had no new equipment or cash to offer, and the government's autumn budget statement sidestepped the issue. Britain's leadership on Ukraine is weakening, said John Healey, Labour's shadow defence secretary. While Britain's military funding ran out in March, Germany this month announced €8 billion in military aid for next year. Since Scholz's €8 billion figure was announced, the government borrowing dispute has raised some doubts. But unlike Cameron, Defense Minister Boris Pistorius made an impressive down payment in Kiev last month. This consisted of €1.3 billion worth of medium-range missiles, artillery shells and Panzer anti-tank mines. The ammunition was doubly welcome, given that the EU had missed its target of providing 1 million artillery shells. Speaking in Parliament with all the enthusiasm of converts, Scholz showed how far he had come since the spring of last year. "We will continue this support as long as necessary," he said. "This support is of existential importance for Ukraine, but also for us in Europe. None of us want to imagine how serious the consequences would be for us if Putin wins this war." Scholz's leadership is a bright spot in a bleak environment. While their fears about the broader dangers inherent in Russia's victory are widely shared, they do not appear frightening enough to spur other EU and NATO members to take more urgent and substantive action. When they are not fighting among themselves, their attention and resources increasingly turn elsewhere. Vladimir Putin's Orban poses a familiar problem for the EU. However, there is a real possibility that Hungary will veto the new aid package promised at this month's summit. He is not alone in his doubts about the war. Slovakia's newly elected leader, Robert